one of the greatest inventors of all time, Nikola Tesla, the genius who lit the world, once said, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." Say you are listening to the radio in your car and do not like the music that you are hearing. What do? You change the frequency. What many people fail to realize is that we can take charge of our frequencies in the exact same way. We tend to reduce our body's anatomy down to a simplified version that consists of only flesh and blood. But everything on this planet, animals, plants, and water, are made of atoms, which produce, emit, and receive energy, which operates at a specific frequency. Everything. All our tissues, cells, organs, emotions, and thought patterns have their own unique electromagnetic fields, as do allergens, viruses, or bacteria. All things have a frequency, including you, the human body. You always want to be healthy, active, and balanced. That's what makes up Healy. With a quantum sensor that uses individually determined frequencies to stimulate specific areas of your body. Researchers like Dr. Carolyn McMacken and Nuno Nina have in their clinical practice the effect of tens of thousands of such frequencies studied and tested. The result of these decades of experience is now available to you, 144,000 gold frequencies all day, with an intuitive app that puts the future into your hands. Welcome to Healy World. It's not science fiction. It's science. The Healy Editions. Small, light, and friendly, Healy can give you bioenergetic support to help your body and improve your day. To give you an overview of what Healy can do for you and to make sure that you get what you really need, we have put together a collection of frequencies in pages and modules in the form of different editions so you can find your Healy. Healy Gold. Healy Gold includes Healy hardware, the Nuno Nina Gold Cycle, and a program of your choice. The frequencies of the Nuno Nina Gold Cycle can be used in many ways. For bioenergetic support and prevention, for optimal energy balance, for recovery, well-being, and relaxation. Healy Holistic Health. Universal Health consists of a Healy, the Nuno Nina Gold Cycle, and 8 other program pages for Psyche, Bioenergetic Balance 1, Bioenergetic Balance 2, Mental Balance, Meridians 1, Meridians 2, Sleep, and Skin. Healy Holistic Health Plus. Everything's in here. Healy hardware with more than 120 programs, Healy Universal Health, and 6 other frequency pages for learning, fitness, job, beauty, chakras, and protection programs. The Healy Analysis app, Resonance, and Aura models. With the analysis feature of the resonance, practitioners and many others can support their clients or patients if necessary.
Hello, good morning everyone. Welcome to our show in Naturopaths in Manila. I am your host here, Judith Alma. I'd like to greet all the viewers that tuning in with us this morning. Thank you, and we hope that you are all doing well. And to all our viewers from different parts of the world, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Now I'd like to turn you over to our other host here in this program, Pink. So you may greet our viewers now.
Hi, what's up, Philippines, and what's up, world? Everyone, have a blessed Tuesday. And of course, it's again my pleasure to introduce our speaker today. Once again, we're going to talk about in-depth about frequency therapy. And this subject is very interesting because it's all about a wellness device. So our speaker again for today, she's a doctor of internal medicine, a well-known in holistic and biological medicine. She studied at UP College of Medicine and the medical director at Rosario Austria Health Clinic. Again, let's welcome Dr. Rosario R. Austria. Hi, Doc.
Hi,
Hi,
Doc.
Judy. Hi, Judy. Yes. Good morning.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk about frequency therapy, since this is a very unusual or very new paradigm in trying to make patients get well or feel better. Okay. So, what is frequency therapy? Actually, I got interested in frequency therapy around 10 years ago. And frequency therapy is what we call frequency-specific microcurrent. It's also called sometimes frequency-specific therapy. It's a technique for treating pain by using low-level electrical currents. And usually this current is measured or registered in hertz. Okay, and it's just a microcurrent. In using or FSM or frequency-specific microcurrent to treat pain, it has been found that various frequencies can be used to potentially reduce the inflammation, the swelling, repair the tissue, and to reduce the pain in patients. Okay, and in fact, when you give the microcurrent to the tissues, what happens? They found out the 3 studies they did on microcurrent therapy said that you will produce ATP production. The cells will produce ATP productions 5 times or 500%. It will increase protein synthesis and it will increase the amino acid transport. Now you know the ATP is like the energy of the cells. It's like the gasoline of cells. It's what makes the cells run. Without ATP, the cells will die. You know, if you take cyanide, the cyanide will block the metabolic process by which our body produces ATP, and you're dead in 4 minutes. So that's how important ATP is. And what happens when you do a frequency-specific therapy, you would increase your ATP production 5 times. And in repair, you need protein synthesis, so you have better repair and also the amino acid transport. Now, this side of therapy is popular because the human body is actually what we call a quantum biological system. Quantum is like energy, okay? And our body, instead of just a molecular solid structure or material structure, it's also connected to our conscious or subconscious body, and it is connected through quantums. They communicate with each other through quantums, and this quantum is the energy by which our psyche or our subconscious will communicate with our cells and our molecules and even the subatomic levels. Okay, and the cells are bounded together by electromagnetic bonds which are affected by the quantum. Every bond has a different resonant frequency. Okay, you'll say the bonds that hold your joints together, or let's say cartilage, it would have a certain frequency, scar. And then if you want to break that one, you dissolve the scar because you give it the correct frequency. Okay, that's just an example. And as I've said, your body is an electromagnetic system. It looks solid, but the cells function as like a semiconductor. Okay, and it's like a semiconductor, and it would take in information, and the charge of the cells would differ. And this would explain that different resonance, different frequencies, or what we call resonance, have an effect on our body. That is how frequency therapy would affect our body. Resonance is the tendency of a system or bond to oscillate at large amplitudes in response to some frequencies and not to others. So you don't resonate with everything around you, but there are your different parts of the body would resonate with different kinds of resonance. Okay, for example, there would be resonance that can improve your eyesight. There would be frequencies or resonance that will decrease inflammation. There will be resonance that will dissolve scars. There will be resonance that stops bleeding. So those are some of the different kinds of resonance or frequencies that are available for the body. And biological resonance would explain the effect of Healy on the body. The drugs or the nutrients or the food that we take, they communicate with the cells through what we call like a door, okay? And then you have the key. The nutrients are like keys to the door to open that membrane. And these are biochemical signaling to the cells, okay? But there is a more efficient way of signaling to the cells. That is the frequency signaling to the cells. And it is more efficient because it doesn't have to go through the stomach. It's absorbed. It's instant. It can even be distant healing because it is through energy and bioresonance and through frequency. So the biological resonance would explain the effect of the living tissue and the frequencies. The frequencies are the key that would open the lock to the cell with an electromagnetic signal. It's the same way as, your car. You have a magnetic key and you would open the door just by pressing that magnetic key. Okay? So, because when you open the door, when you have the correct frequency, your door will open. Just as like your cells, the correct frequency would open certain cell membranes, while it would not open some. And it would change the cell membrane potential and configuration. You can communicate with your cells through electromagnetic frequencies. So, electromagnetic frequencies have been used for so many conditions, okay? This is the first time when I heard the lecture of frequency-specific therapy. That was more than 10 years ago, I believe, in the U.S. in a convention. And the speaker was Carolyn McMakin, and she was talking about frequency-specific therapy, and she was presenting cases of patients with neck pain, or we call myofascial pain. And where it's open pain, chronic pain, they've had that pain for months, some of them years, and they were being treated with different kinds of therapeutic modalities, anti-inflammatories or maybe stents. And then what she did was she treated them with the frequency-specific therapy. And what they did, they found out it produced very good results. They even measured the inflammation had gone down so fast that they even thought that it was a laboratory error. They measured inflammatory cytokines and other laboratory measurements to measure the inflammation, and it was true. They repeated it to make sure it's correct. And it was true. Inflammation had gotten down. And I could remember her statement at that time very clearly. What the medicines could do in months or years, frequency-specific medicine could do in days or hours or even weeks. So that was it. I got so interested with the frequency therapy, frequency-specific therapy, but I never heard anything about it again. And I kept wondering all these years, what happened to that kind of modality? Because it produced very good results, yet you never hear about it until I was introduced to Healy. Healy is the wearable device of another health gadget that is as big as a typewriter called Time Waver. And Time Waver, there would be different frequencies in that machine. It's a machine, not a gadget, because it's big. And you would press different kinds of, you would choose different kinds of frequencies here, frequency 57 and 900 and 920, in this instance, you use those frequencies to remove toxicity, okay, which actually improves your reaction to your response to toxins, okay, or it could change the pattern by which these toxins will affect your body. For example, these frequencies would make your brain and gut and liver more efficient so that you can eliminate your toxins better, okay? And it would affect your kidneys and your lungs. And there are different frequencies to help detox you for even for heavy metals. So that's an example of what the frequencies can do. But one of the things that frequencies can't do, there are so many frequencies for different kinds of conditions, okay? But it will not fix everything, okay? Because when you treat something, you're not just treating the symptoms. You have to find out and think, what is causing the symptoms? And if it's something like psychological or a trauma, emotional trauma in the past, you cannot just give a frequency. You'll have to figure out what is that emotional trauma, and it is affecting the cell or the body. You are reacting in a certain fixed pattern, causing symptoms in your body. And what frequency specific therapy can do, it would break that pattern so that you would realize that your psyche, or let's say emotion, is causing all those pains. And the quantum therapy, which is in the heart of the Healy gadget, enable your subconscious to communicate with your body organs. So it will not keep doing the same way as how it did before. And that's what she was saying. If you should break the pattern of that behavior. If, for example, you have a tic because every time you smell something, you'll tick your. That is a pattern of behavior. To break that pattern of behavior, you have to find out why this has happened. When did the tic start? Is it connected with certain toxins? Is it connected to a nerve problem or a trauma and things like that? And that is when you have to connect the molecular body to the psyche, which is what Marcus Schmicky, the inventor of Healy, calls the information field, because that information field will give the information to your cells and to your organ, and that's how the condition is modified or improved or recover or get well. Okay, frequency is called frequency specific therapy because it is so exact what it does. For example, like I said here, if the problem is not emotional and you don't treat the emotional, it's not going to work. If the problem is not toxicity and you only treat toxicity, it's not going to work. And the problem is not muscle and you treat only muscle, it's not going to work. But if you know the muscle is due to pain because you're just tolerating spasm, and the pain is because of trauma in the past, then you have to link that information. What is this trauma and that you experienced before that's making you react that way? And when you link that and you break that pattern, then you get well from that chronic pain. So that is how frequency specific therapy works. And the frequency response, so it makes you thoughtful. The frequencies change your reaction. It will change your autonomic function quickly, directly, without drugs like meditation or therapy. It may be temporary because you have to also change the other conditions that's making your body react that way. For example, if this is an example on water. Water is in different states, okay? If it's cold, it becomes very cold, less than 0 degrees, it becomes ice. When it's room temperature, it's cold or cool. But when it's very hot, then it becomes steam. You change the form of the water depending on the condition. In the same way, our body can change its form depending on the states it is in. And these states are the conditions in the information field and how it would connect or communicate with your tissues. So it's all a connection of that information field, your psyche, your emotions, your mental, your thinking, your environment, how you're communicating with your body, okay? And if you correct both of that, if you become, let's say, positive thinking, then your body will not react so negatively. So that is how you produce a connection. And that's how you can become healthier, by modifying the condition around that produces those changes in your molecular body structure. Okay? Now, what's good about frequency-specific therapy? It is, like I said, it is very, very specific. If you give it, like I said, something for bleeding will not reduce pain. Something for inflammation will not stop bleeding. But what's good about it, it is very reproducible and predictable. because that was what they say. Is this really true? If it's placebo, it's not as predictable or reproducible as this. And knowing this one, there is a basis about it because it do it all the time, give the same frequency all the time, you get the same results. Okay, all the time, it would get the same results, and that's why. And these frequencies have been used for so long. So, and like I said, it would affect your autonomic nervous system, it affect your sympathetic system. It may even have changes on your genes, and it speeds up healing. Now, this is where Healy comes in. Okay, Healy is the wearable device where right there in the center, Healy is the quantum sensor. Okay, and it is now a wearable device. The frequencies are kept in a blockchain cloud. It's not in that device, it's in a blockchain. And through Bluetooth, you connect to the blockchain and download the frequency that you need, that your body needs, depending on what you want to improve or enhance. It took them 5 years to make this small wearable device from the mother machine called the Time Waver.
Healy, the wearable for your well-being, holistic health and fitness. Well-being, vitality, as well as physical and mental health are among the most important things we possess. In order to support you in all these ways, we have developed Healy. Healy is a wearable device. Healy applies a range of frequencies and subtle currents that stimulate cell function using electrodes. Healy contains 144,000 different frequencies, which have specific effects on humans. These gold frequencies were developed in collaboration with Nuno Nina, a Portuguese practitioner and researcher who has used them to treat thousands of patients in his international clinics for over 20 years. Based on these gold frequencies, Healy contains more than 100 special sequence programs to support you energetically in many areas of life. These programs are called systemic programs in the Healy app and are labeled with the abbreviation SYST. The centerpiece of Healy is the quantum sensor that individually selects the gold frequencies that are best suited for your needs. The systemic programs are always the first choice for almost any area of application, as they focus on balancing the cause of a condition. This is why these programs are not applied locally, but in most cases in a holistic way. The frequencies are designed to energetically affect the entire system in an integrated way via the upper body and its organs, glands, and the nervous system. These programs can have a duration of 45 minutes. Their goal is to stimulate and balance you at deeper levels. So take enough time and rest when you use the Healy. Your well-being should be worth it. If you need quick help, Healy has a lot of programs for this too. In cases of acute stress or energetic problems, you can use the acute programs. To summarize, you should first apply the systemic programs. If necessary, you can complement these with the acute or local programs. The Healy frequency programs should perceivably help you after 20 minutes, whether applied at home, at work, during leisure time, during sports, or on the go. Using Healy regularly will let you experience its full potential. We hope that you are going to enjoy your Healy and experience increased well-being and vitality.
Now, here, what is the scientific basis of the Healy? Okay, Healy is the first and the foremost microcurrent device that is extraordinarily effective for treating local pain and muscle soreness. So this is the FDA approved indication for Healy. It is approved in Germany, FDA approved as a class 2 medical device for local relief of acute and chronic and arthritic pain and muscle soreness due to overexertion. It's also being used for sleep, to improve sleep. Separate from the FDA clearance for pain, inflammation, Healy has a lot of things that can improve. And that's what we call the wellness applications of Healy. Okay? These wellness applications use individualized frequencies delivered by extremely low levels of microcurrent to help balance the mind, the body, and even to relieve stress. So emotions, okay? These microcurrents will just affect you from head to toe and from unconscious to unconscious, or sometimes you're not even conscious, but that's what's in your information field that you are unable to tap. You cannot communicate with it. Your body just reacts. So what you have to do is use the Healy and hopefully to connect them, and then you will understand why your body is reacting that way. Healy produces microcurrents recognized by the cells, which is the same amplitude which our cells use. So it's the same amplitude. That's why they can speak to each other through this frequency, this microcurrent frequency. And these applications are based on emerging science that indicates subtle changes in cell vitality can be affected by particular frequencies. So particular frequencies would affect the changes in the cells and the vitality of cells. Like I said, vitality, because I've seen, let's say in energy, okay? It produces ATP 5 times or 500, it increases 500%. Without the energy, you could be so weak and exhausted, but you could use Healy just to boost up your energy. And if you boost the energy of your white blood cells, then you improve your immune system. If you improve the energy of your kidney and your liver, then you improve your elimination organs and you detoxify. If you control the, say, cell membrane so it will not produce too much inflammation without the drugs, then that's how Healy works, The Healy frequency applications are designed to affect the electrical fields in and around the body, a phenomenon for which the U.S. National Institute for Health has accepted the term biofield, which plays an organizing and communicating role for the entire organism. Actually, I would say this is around the body, but it's more than just around the body, because it would include your psyche. Mm-hmm. It would include everything you know about anything. It is the information field, and what you know is what influences the cells. If you know that lead is toxic, then the moment you take lead, you say maybe your body will react. If you say lead is good, it depends on the information that you're getting and who is producing the information. If you say, those who've been traumatized by their father say, my father is a evil man. So every time you hear about it, you would react. But if you correct that information, you will not have that trauma and your body will not react that way. So you have to work on the information field, and the only way you could do that is through quantum balancing. And through quantum balancing, it would now communicate with the cells, and you go into bioenergetic balancing of the whole body. And the frequency applications available in Healy are not part of the FDA cleared medical device, do not provide medical advice, nor can they treat, cure, diagnose, prevent, or mitigate disease. So what you do is you just balance your body and see what happens. You energetically balance your body. You let your body communicate with the information field. That communication will lead to a lot of health benefits. Now, what's the scientific approach? Well, here frequency applications has been developed for decades of research, multiple thousands of practitioners who've been using this. And one of them, it all started with Professor Robert Becker. Dr. Becker was the man who was able to regenerate organs and organ systems through the use of the body's own bioelectrical magnetic phenomenon. Imagine you're going to build a new organ, a new leg, just through a bioelectrical stimulation organ. This is the salamander. The other one is Professor Bjorn Nordenstrom, and he's a professor emeritus of radiology. And in his book, Biologically Closed Electrical Circuits, he describes a bioelectric circuit in the body similar to blood or lymph. How does it connect to the cells? The cell, it's connected all to the cell membrane. Goes inside of the cells, has to pass through the membrane. The membrane is not just a wall, it's a living organ. It would regulate entry of toxins, the fat cells, the metabolism, the breakdown of fat cells. It would regulate whether it's too much sugar. It's really a very active organ, the cell nutrition. And then it would balance how much water you need, how much the cells would need, and all of those functions. It is a living organ. And it's a very important organ because it also secretes a lot of things. And the metabolism of the cells go through this cell membrane. And so if you could affect the cell membrane in a positive way by giving frequency therapy, then you will have a healthier cell. And frequency, that's where frequency application came in. The transport of matter in and out of the cell functions by a kind of magnetically controlled valve. So this valve is like a door, and it is controlled magnetically through EMF, electromagnetic frequency, and it controls the valve. So it will control whether are you going to take too much water or it's regulated. If it's like in too much water, the cells will swell. If they take too much salt in the cell could die. So it's a very important function that these valves are regulated properly. The mechanism explains why frequency can be applied to many different purposes and imbalances for the body. And like I've said, this is a cell membrane potential. Frequency medicine has been used to improve the conditions of pain, inflammation, swelling, circulation, even producing cancer cells. We had a machine before. We used to measure the energy of the patient, and we know when the energy is so low, when it reaches 10, the patient is prone to having cancer. And this cell membrane voltage potential model would explain that. And we would do everything, and that's where we came. We gave nutrients like ATP, CoQ10, just to raise that energy level of the cells and the patient. Because if the energy of the cell gets so low, it becomes dysregulated. It cannot anymore control too much growth. And for the cells to control this too much growth, like in cancer, it needs energy to do that. And the fastest way to increase energy is through frequency-specific therapy. That's 5 times. And so you would even save on your nutritional supplements, because it would open your door to all these correct nutrients, and just a little bit of it would produce a lot of effect. Now, Marcus Schmincke is the inventor and the genius behind Healy. Marcus Schmincke is a quantum physicist, and he lived as a monk in India for 12 years. And that's where he saw the connection between the subconscious and the conscious. And this is his diagram. I'd like to apologize for this diagram, for his picture, because it's very tiny and kind of blurred. But here are the different levels of our being. You can't even say body because it's being. It's from the top, from the global information field, and then you have the individual information field, and it would affect the bioenergetic field of our body, the local bioenergetic field. In the middle is the Healy. Healy, with its quantum sensors, would process all those quantum from the information field and transmit those information to the bioenergetic field of the body. And depending on that information, what the body would do with it. And on the body, it would affect the molecules. And that is how Healy can affect our health, because it is the one that would complete the communication between the information field and the cells. That is the basis of Healy. Now, here is another person who's been involved with Nuno. Nuno Nina has been a doctor practicing in Portugal for so many years, and he has been using a lot of different frequencies. He's been using them on cancer patients. He had at least 7 clinics, and he's been using them for years and saw the improvement in all those patients. Now, he collaborated with Marcus Schmincke, and those are the frequencies that are in the first edition of the Healy gadget, and they are called the Gold Cycle frequencies. It is a collection of 144,000 different kinds of frequencies. That is his contribution to the Healy. Now, here is an example of the available programs in our Healy. You would see there are so many things it can do or it can help you with, okay? In the Gold Cycle, you have a pure program, and the pure program is good for a starting point for anyone because it supplies the energy field to recover from effect of environmental pollutants, toxins, unhealthy diet, and other negative factors. And then it would have energy, bioenergetic field that would boost your immune system, and that would cause a lot of acute and chronic diseases. Okay, it would strengthen your energy fields through appropriate exercise, healthy nutrition, water, and care. Means you care, in other words, preserving a multiple. You are correcting a lot of bioenergetic functions. The balance here is the frequency wherein you balance the different organs. You have the lymphatic organs, the circulatory organs, circulation, kidneys, lymphatic system, and even your hormones. So that is the frequency to balance different organs of the body. And being is the one that balances your emotional state, okay? And you have energy. You have the organ that probably increase your ATP and give you more energy. You have the frequency that will make you relax more, your muscles, you will not tense them. And that's the relax, and you make calm. And you have the release energy. Yeah, this is for the muscle spasms, okay? Muscle spasms, you use the release energy, so you'll not, you would relax your muscles, and the pain due to spasms will disappear or improve significantly. And so you could see all this whole set. You have frequencies for the pain, different kinds of pain. You have one for the body pain, pain of tooth pain, back pain, bioenergetic support of the joints, headaches, balancing of sleep issues, mental balance, and even relief of mental stress. And then you would have frequencies for fitness, okay, to improve your weight, to make your muscles regenerate faster, improve the circulation to your muscles, improve your performance. And this is all done through frequencies. You don't need to take drugs. You can join the Olympics, just improving all the things here, make your body function better. And so you can see all these things. And the learning, it supports your concentration, cranial stimulation, and anxiety, balancing of anxiety, and all of those things. So for job, this is what activation, the first activation. Before I didn't use this frequency so much. But before, I remember at the start of the year, I had this feeling that I didn't want to do anything. I was tired of doing a clinic and everything. And I was just in that state. And I said, this is really bad. I don't even feel like working. And so I did the Healy. There is a Healy that, the higher edition of the Healy, it's called the bioresonance Healy. It will measure you, and then it can tell you what are the best frequencies for you. Yeah, the bioresonance. Okay, the bioresonance, because the regular Healy editions, it would just treat you with what frequency you chose. But if you didn't treat the right frequency, then it will not get corrected. If you're treating inflammation and your problem is not inflammation, if it's bleeding, then it will not get corrected. Okay, if it's muscle and not inflammation, then it won't get corrected. So sometimes you don't know what's wrong with you, and so that's where you use the bioresonance edition, and you would use it, and then it'll tell you what's the best frequency for you. For example, January 1, I said, I feel like not doing anything. I didn't even feel like I wanted to start the clinic for the year. And so I did my Healy, and what came out? Job. It says activation was the highest thing I needed to do, and I did. And that's how I did it. It just perked me up, and I was okay to, start the new year and work again. And there was another one, when I was going to Germany for the Healy convention, I was going to go with my friend Beth earlier. We were going to go to Barcelona, and we were going to go to Berlin and attend both conventions. But I already had the previous booking to go to Bangkok. And so when I applied for the my German visa, and I got it, they didn't release my visa right away, and I was so stressed because my ticket for Bangkok was going to lapse, and I was so stressed, and I didn't know, I just couldn't relax and couldn't concentrate. And what I did, was do the Healy. It had a program for stress. So I did it said acute stress, acute stress. I did a program for acute stress, and what happened, it made me think, why don't I just rebook my flight to Bangkok and get a new ticket? I was going to go to Bangkok to watch my granddaughter perform in Lion King over there. And that's what I did. I didn't waste my ticket. I rebooked it for supposed to be this year, but that date got hit by COVID lockdown. So I still have my ticket. I can use it for the rest of the year. Hopefully I can leave sometime. But and then I just bought a new ticket when I had my visa already. So it helps you even solve your problems by knowing all the information, even problems like that, And so other programs it has, for example, and all these programs, you could feel the results. In fact, my patient says, the first day you get your Healy gadget, wow, sabi, nakaka-addict talaga. You want to do all the programs that you can. I think the first day I slept 2 hours. I just did one program after. I wanted to do the pure, the balance, the being, the relax. I wanted to detoxify, and so I did that. And later on, you want to do the beauty, the keep calm, and then if you have gastrointestinal problems, you can do the Just All. And for example, my daughter-in-law, one time they bought some food, they bought some kind of chicken, and then she had such terrible headaches. She just gave birth 2 months ago or something like that. So a new baby, and she had such a terrible headache. You gave her 2 tablets for headache. It didn't go away. It was so bad that they had to go to the emergency room. She thought she was getting post-eclampsia syndrome, which is post-giving birth headache, which could lead to convulsions. And before she did that, I did the Healy, and it said allergies. It was large intestine allergy. And later on, I was thinking it's an allergic reaction to the chicken. They just gave her medicine. So that's an example. And you detox your large intestines, and so that's how Healy can help you. But I have one astonishing case. For example, there's a patient who came to the clinic. She's been having headaches all her life, really bad headaches. She's gone to so many doctors. She's gone to acupuncturists and things like that, and nothing really helped her significantly. And she came there because she wanted to try the Healy. And true enough, we did the resonance app on her, and we tried to figure out what would treat her headache. And when we saw the app, it says gold cycle, and the one thing that was high was the beauty cycle. The beauty frequencies, the whole group. It says, I wasn't going to test her for the beauty frequencies because she's complaining of headache. What will I do? Give her a frequency to make her more beautiful? It didn't make sense to me, But anyway, I followed it and I did the beauty frequency. I analyzed her with it. And what came out, her highest frequency, what she needed most was scar. The frequency for dissolving scars. And she said, yes, I have so many scars. I had so many surgeries here inside my mouth and in my head because I was born with a cleft palate. I don't know, maybe she had around 10 since she was a child. And that's why I had so many scars. And we know in our practice of integrative medicine, when you build a scar, you block the flow of energy through that tissue. So, and we would inject it with procaine to try to open up the channel so that energy would flow. So what we did was, okay, she decided to get the Healy. She did a scar, and she's doing okay. It worked. They want to get a second gadget. So these are just examples. I had patients with Crohn's disease, where he didn't have money to buy all the medicines to stop his bleeding. He's so thin, he could not eat anything. He just keeps pooping blood. But with the Healy, we were able to decrease the inflammation of his intestines. He stopped pooping blood. He was able to eat better. He gained weight. So those are examples of how Healy can work and how it can help you even with strange cases. And if you really want to know more about the difficult cases about frequency, how frequency medicine or frequency specific therapy or microcurrents can help you, you can just look up one of the best ones who really gives a good explanation is Carolyn McMakin. The most difficult cases, she will explain and she'll tell you what she did to treat those cases. They were failure of conventional medicine, all using frequency-specific therapy.
I called up Bill Hewlett when I was 12 years old, and he lived in Palo Alto. His number was still in the phone book. And he answered the phone himself. He said, yes? I said, hi, I'm Steve Jobs. I'm 12 years old. I'm a student in high school, and I want to build a frequency counter. And I was wondering if you had any spare parts I could have. And he laughed, and he gave me the spare parts to build this frequency counter, and he gave me a job that summer in Hewlett-Packard, working on the assembly line, putting nuts and bolts together on frequency counters. He got me a job in the place that built them. And I was in heaven.
I wanted to show you the device that really is changing all of this right now. This is the world's first artificial intelligence driven, syncs up to your smartphone.
The German-born theoretical physicist who developed the theory of relativity once said, "Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics." Every object on Earth possesses what is called a natural frequency, which depends on its size, shape, and composition. 1-7. This explains how a singer can shatter a glass by hitting a certain note, which does not happen because the singer's voice has reached a particularly high pitch. Rather, it is a matter of attaining the natural frequency of the glass. As a result, all the energy in the sound of the singer's voice is transferred to the glass, and it shatters. The professional boxer, activist, and philanthropist nicknamed the Greatest, widely regarded as one of the most significant and celebrated sports figures of the 20th century, and as one of the greatest boxers of all time, used to not only match the frequencies of his opponent's training schedules, he used to do more frequently, so that when he stepped into the ring, he knew that they could never match his power, because his frequency was stronger. Everywhere in daily life, there are frequencies of sound and electromagnetic waves constantly changing and creating the features of the visible and audible world familiar to everyone. Some aspects of frequency can only be perceived indirectly, yet people are conscious of them without even thinking about it. A favorite radio station, for instance, may have a frequency of 99.7 megahertz. And fans of that station know that every time they turn the FM dial to that position, the station's signal will be there. Of course, people cannot hear radio and television frequencies, part of the electromagnetic spectrum, but the evidence for them is everywhere. Similarly, people are not conscious, in any direct sense, of frequencies in sound and light. Yet, without differences in frequency, there could be no speech or music, nor would there be any variations of color. Healy is a certified combination of innovation and technology that uses individually determined frequencies to stimulate specific areas of the body. Through regular use of the selected frequency, the Healy can support restoring your cell membrane tension to a natural level. Each frequency application is clearly displayed in the Healy app. Just select the one that you want and feel it. The Healy is not intended to cure, treat, or prevent disease, but rather to support energetic balance and enhance recovery, vitality, and well-being.
I guess, Jude and Pinky, that's all I can tell you about frequency medicine and Healy. It has so much potential, and aside from that gadget, the Healy gadget, and they're coming out, or they have come out, but they are still improving it with other gadgets connected to the Healy. They have the digital nutrition app, wherein you can have digital vitamin C, and digital B complex, and things like that, and melatonin. That for those who don't like popping pills all the time, you can have something to help you bioenergetically or frequency medicine. And yes, for sleep, this is very good for sleep. One of my friends, a doctor friend, her father, who's 90+ years old, who's having a hard time to sleep, despite all those drugs to help him sleep, just sleeps 2 hours a day. And when she tried the Healy on him, for the first time, he slept 6 hours. Those are the things, because it works on different planes, not just the physical. It works on the, like we said, the information field.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Austria, for this insightful information fact about Healy, and quite very very interesting to know. No, you just mentioned, even I got so engrossed when you mentioned this, that even in a digital manner, that some people would not like to take on supplements talaga, Doc, eh? But you just mentioned are they coming out, or they came out already? Do we have it already in the market? How do we?
They have that. It's an application that you could you subscribe to it, and then they will download it to your gadget.
Oh wow! So if you need, downloadable. Okay, so that's a very good app also, and such a powerful device.
Yes, and they're going to come out with more and more things to improve it, what you could do with the gadget. And they came out with a watch, so that, you know, doing the resonance app, with the watch, your watch will measure you all day and tell you what frequencies you need most.
Oh wow, that's very nice. So yeah, and it's very you just mentioned also, Doc, that it's not only work on the physical aspect of a person, more so actually in a lot of dimension is addressing it even in the mental aspect.
Oh yeah, the
aspect.
You know, it's so nice, and the keep calm. Oh, those are the nice frequencies to nice. There's even frequency for inner beauty, unity.
That's right, Doc.
Like that.
With me nga, I always use this Healy. If my son has an examination, because we have it also, the program for examination, there's a mental balance also. It's a very, very powerful, and
for concentration, you know.
Yeah, for concentration.
But they also have been using it for autistic children, or these are the other programs. Here, frequency to change the brain in autism.
Okay.
And they also use it for very difficult cases, you know, diabetic neuropathy. Actually, like I said, Carol Macon, she described a very difficult case of one of those Super Bowl players who sustained a fracture of his leg. She called it the career-ending fracture. And so they worked with Healy. They controlled the bleeding, they controlled the inflammation, they sped up the healing with using the Healy and frequency therapy. And in 6 months, he was able to play Super Bowl again.
Wow.
So
yeah.
it has so many possibilities.
Yes.
It's really, sometimes I have other things, diagnostic things I have in the clinic, but there are times that even that one is not enough. It gives me all the nutrients that I need for the patient, but when it's information field, psychological, you know, things like that, Healy is really wonderful for those things. And a lot of conditions are rooted in that, what we call the information field, more than what we recognize.
That's right. So do you have anything to say, Pink, about the information of Dr. Austria just had provided for all of us about Healy?
Yes, Doc. Is it affordable? Can you tell us that?
You wish that it is affordable. It's like buying a cell phone. If people can afford a cell phone, then you can buy a Healy gadget. But I don't know if they have a installment plan. That's a problem. So you just deal with your credit card to buy it on installment or something like that. But definitely, it's affordable because it's like the price of a cell phone. But it does so much more.
Yes.
In fact, it's more worth your money than a cell phone.
Correct, because it's addressing your overall health system, not only the physical aspect, but the overall health system.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good investment.
Definitely. I love my Healy, especially, let's say, I love those things for positive thinking, because sometimes your brain, when something bad happens, it's just you can start thinking all the bad things will happen, and you have to stop it. So okay, go get Healy to help control your reaction and things like that. And even the digestion, sometimes I have this let's say bloating. I would just use a digest all program.
Wow.
And I use it for my sciatica, and then toothache, things like that. For the pain.
Okay. All right, Pink. So I guess we have so much that everything that we want to know about this powerful device, this wellness device, Healy. Dr. Austria was able to give us the information, everything that we want to know, how it works and why it works. It works in an energy level, in a frequency level, and we're able to also understand that energy, the frequency inside our body is very, very important, that it has to have in harmony. It has to be in harmony altogether so that it will function well, and we as a person as a whole can also function well. So thank you so much again, Dr. Austria, for your time and energy for providing everything about healing.
Actually, what's a better way to picture or understand how these frequencies or this resonance frequency work is that condition where the singer would sing and the glass would break.
Yeah.
Well, that's because the glass is made out of lead, and the lead are held together by what you call bonds. Okay, and when she would sing a certain note, it would resonate with those bonds that hold the lead together, and the glass will just disintegrate or collapse.
Wow.
So that's an example of how.
Wow, it's a good picture, Doc, that you just cite right now for all our viewers, that how this Healy works. Yeah, so it's the resonance of the frequency and the resonance, how resonance and the frequency really works, and we have that in our body. So
and
anything
I think with all the Wi-Fi, 3G, everything coming out, I think we will have more and more uses, because there are a lot of research going on that all these frequencies around us are not safe or healthy.
That's right, Doc. I agree with that, and I hope that we people become more aware about this, and we have to be more productive to become take care of our health by becoming aware of what are the things we can do right now. So this can be one of those to help us, to protect us, because this device has a protection program, Doc, also in the resonance program.
Yes. For the last month.
Yeah.
And I give it to all my. I recommend it to all my cancer patients, because that cell voltage potential graph. Do it every day so you will not get cancer. For those who have cancer, rejuvenate the cell membrane potential, so you will be away from cancer. You'll go, instead of cancer, you'll go to inflammation and things like that. Just for cancer prevention. Just for that.
Doc. So thank you very much again, Dr. Austria, for your time and energy, your kindness, your generosity, for sharing this great information that I hope our viewers will be really interested to have this kind of device. It's something that I for me, if you can buy a good cell phone, yes, it's a good investment. After all, this is for our overall health system, and it's not only for you. In fact, you can share this with your family once you have this device. Yes. That's what I do. That's why when I get this, I really like the concept of even the remote the remote aspect when you're doing this to your family. Like my mom is living right now in Quezon City, and I'm here in Makati, but I can do the program to my mom, even the device is with me, once you get the resonance of that person. So it's a very, very good investment if you want to know more about this. Pink will be flashing in our program the contacts of the person where you can have this. We got this from Philippine Institute of Naturopathic Sciences, and of course with the help of Dr. Austria giving us the clear information of how this wellness device can really address us. In fact, we also have this in this program, Doc, yung immune system. Yun yung lagi kong
ako din.
sa bioenergetic balance, immune system.
It's such a nice gadget to travel with. You know, you're waiting in the airport. Now you don't go to the airport anymore. Pero when you're waiting, all you have to do, you're treating yourself with something.
Yes, right, Doc. So it's a good investment. I hope for those viewers who's watching us, you can also have this device. But yes, Pink, do you have anything to share or say to our viewers right now about this device?
Yes, it's good for everyone actually. If you're an athlete, I always use the programs for, you know, for muscles, for performance, for endurance, stamina, for weight, balance weight. Those were my favorite. I would always use it before my training and after my training, and it really helps me progress more faster, and also it's good for people for those people who always works with their computer. So when I work with my computer, I will always do the Healy program for the protection or bioprotection also, and it's really useful. It's really a good investment. I hope everyone would think of investing this wellness device aside from investing on our Wi-Fi's and our gadgets. You know, this is one thing that I guess we should also prioritize.
Yes.
Because health is the number one thing, you know.
Yes, that's right. I agree, Dr. Austria. Health is wealth. Yes. It's only wise to invest for our wealth.
And it would give faster results because you don't have to pass through the gastrointestinal tract. Like I said, frequency signaling to the cells is so much more efficient and more effective than biochemical signaling to the cells.
Wow. Thank you so much for that information, Dr. Austria. So once again, viewers, thank you very much for tuning in with us every Tuesday. And we really hope that you learn something out of this, the information that our guest just provided to all of us. And we wish you that you all have a very blessed day ahead. So how about you, Pete? You may want to say your piece to our viewers now.
Yes, this device is, you know, we're not discussing this just because we wanted for you guys to buy this, but because we personally experienced the wonders of this device. Me, at first, I was so one of the pessimists against this device. Like, I was just looking at my classmates at JM. What are they doing? How can that device affect my body? I was just like, okay, dead ma. And then when I heard them telling stories about their experience, and that was especially the resonance device, when the resonance device could actually diagnose even the emotional, up to the emotional level or spiritual level of JM's mom. And that was the time when I said, Doc Bet, I want to buy this. That's the time. That's my 360 degree, you know. Yes, I guess it's effective. And then from that moment, I am so addicted to using this device almost every day. And before, I will use this 3 to 4 hours a day or more.
Yes. You feel like want to do all the programs.
Yes, actually, Doc, I tried doing that, but I believe there's a certain programs that you can do in a day only, right? Since we have the resonance, it's also good that you focus on what is you really needing for that time being. So from time to time, you can check if it's, you need to do other program. Yeah. So again, viewers, we really hope that you get something out of this live, this in-depth discussion that we have right now with Doctora Austria. And Doctora Austria, thank you very much again for your time. We know how busy you are, and still your generosity, your kindness to spread this. If it's something that will help everyone, then you are here with us. Thank you very much, Doctora Austria, for your time and energy. And to all our viewers also, thank you very much for continuously tuning in with us. And as we always promise, we make sure that we really provide something that our viewers will learn from, of how they will improve their health and their overall health system, their immune system. So again, once again, thank you very much, and have a blessed day ahead. Me?
Oh, thanks, Doc. Now I understand.
Yeah, it's something I had to. You know how the company it's all. So I have to dig it all up, and I had to. But I knew from the first time that I saw the Healy, because I've listened to Karen McMakin around 10 years ago. So I knew exactly that it's really something that's good. So I think I was the first one to buy Healy in the Philippines.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So thank you so much, actually, Dr. Austria, for sharing this to our mentor, Dr. Beth Mikaler. That's why we have it with us. Yes, so we're so happy to have this wellness device, and as well as our families also benefiting from all the health benefits or the wellness benefits of this device. So thank you for that, Dr. Austria. So once again, viewer, again, thank you very much, and have a blessed day. We're gonna end this show now. Thank you.
Healy is new, Healy is different, and Healy is extremely versatile. This little game changer is the first smartphone-controlled wearable that provides easy support in all important areas of your life with the use of frequencies. Healy analyzes the frequencies you need right now. Then the smart wearable applies subtle currents and individualized frequencies to your body via its electrodes. It strengthens your balance and harmonizes imbalances. Fitness, health, and inner and outer beauty. Healy, over 120 programs to provide energetical support for you, for your body, and for your cells. Every single cell in our body is a small power plant that constantly produces energy. One thing is particularly important for this, the natural cell membrane voltage. And this is where the Healy comes in. With Nuno Nina's Gold Cycle programs that focus on rebalancing your cells. Healy also has suitable programs for many other applications on board. Programs for the treatment of headache or back pain, but also for learning, concentration, or exams. Healy can even support you with depression, sleep disorders, and stress. The Healy Beauty programs are supposed to support your inner and outer beauty energetically. In sports, the Healy is meant to promote performance, muscles, and regeneration. At home or on the go, in your leisure time or at work. In our opinion, health begins with good balance in all areas of life. This is what Healy stands for, state-of-the-art wearable technology, made in Germany to the highest standards. Based on use by 2,000 therapists worldwide, who have seen as many as 500,000 patients. Healy, for me, and for you, and for everyone.
Healy is not only your companion on the way to more well-being, but can also change your life from a professional point of view. As with any business, your results as a World member may vary and will be based on your individual capacity, business experience, expertise, and personal development. There are no guarantees regarding the level of success you can expect. Healy. Welcome to Healy World. What can I do for you?
What's on the menu?
Your health, well-being, and happiness. Would you like some?
That would be nice.
If so, I have the right frequencies for you. Would you like me to get you some sleep tonight?
I'd love some.
May I offer you a deep relaxation or strength and performance for the day?
Unfortunately, I'm late for a meeting. Activate the protection program.
Your wish is my command. I am more than a complex technology into a compact and easy-to-use device. The app on your smartphone knows how to use me and will be instructing you what to do next at all times. As a World member, you can build an attractive extra income as well as a long-term passive income. Healy is not only your companion on the way to more well-being, but can also change your life from a professional point of view.